to create this epic spinning commercial shot. And I'm gonna show you how to do it in, yeah, well, you guessed it right, 10 easy steps. But before we start, here is what you actually need. A basic knowledge in a graphics program of your choice, like Photoshop, GIMP, Procreate or Affinity Designer. And some basic knowledge in either video editing or animation tool of your choice, such as HitFilm Pro, DaVinci Resolve's Fusion, or in my case, After Effects. Then you need some lights. The more you got, the better the result will be in the end. I also advise you to get a flat one-colored backdrop, preferably in the opposite color of your subject. In my case, it will be white. And finally, something that can take a huge and high resolution photo of your subject, preferably a camera with a 35 to 50mm lens or your smartphone. The higher the quality of the photo, the better the end result will be. So, without further ado, here are 10 easy steps how to create these types of spinning shots with one single photo. And the most important thing I'm going to tell you is this: subscribe. Step 1. Lay down your background on a table or any other flat surface with enough room around it. Then lay down your subject smack dab in the middle of it. Step 2. Position your lights around the subject so that you get an even lighting. If you have more than one light, good on you. Position the softer one on the opposite side of the harder light to create a bit of depth in the final image. Everything that can be done practically should be done practically. Step 3. Here's the most obvious thing in this entire guide. Take a photo. Best, make your subject and your camera align so that there won't be any distorted perspectives in your final image. To get the best result, if possible, shoot with a higher aperture, like 5 or higher, to get your whole subject in focus. We can always blur it afterwards in post. But yeah, you guessed it, it becomes much harder to add sharpening back in. Step 4. When you're happy with the thing your photography skills produced, sit down at your computer or notebook or your smartphone, get yourself something to drink and click on the subscribe button and type the following words into the comments to let me know that you've watched it this far. Spinderella. Step 5. Open up the graphics program app of your choice. In my case, it is Photoshop. There you have about a million different ways of cutting your image from your background, making it transparent and ready for animation. I'm going to show you 2 different ways. One that is very easy, but I guess only available in Photoshop as far as I know. And one that is a bit, well, let's call it the old-fashioned way, but it can be done in every graphics app. So, step 5.1, Photoshop. Double click on the background layer to unlock it, then go to Select and Subject. Photoshop will do its KI rendering magic, and the more you actually got in focus while photographing, aperture of 5 or higher, the easier it is for the KI to select the subject. When it's done, go to Select and Inverse and delete the background. Save your image as a PNG. Step 5.2, every other graphics program. Go to your music streaming service of your choice. Pick your favorite beat to work to and draw away with the pencil tool around your subject until you created a perfect, I repeat, perfect outline. Then go to Select, Modify and Contract, type 2 pixels into this box and click OK. This will get rid of all the things you left standing, because I know you are as lazy and sloppy as I am when I was actually your age. Then go to Select, Inverse and delete your background. Save your file as a PNG with a transparent background. Step 6. Now, well, this is actually where the fun begins. Open up the animation program of your choice, After Effects it is. Create a comp in the size that you find appropriate and drop your PNG onto it. See this tiny little thing in the middle of your PNG? Yeah, exactly this one. Everything in animation revolves around it, literally spoken. And this is why all of your animation projects are fucked up beyond repair, because you don't know what it actually does. And I'm actually here to change that. Choose this tool from the menu and use it to move the anchor point to the middle of your composition. The PNG now spins around this forever, or until you move the point once more. But don't, because step 7, we need more things. Control D on Windows or Command D on Mac gives you the power of cloning your selected layer. This has to be done 3 times to achieve Well, nothing yet. Everything is stacked on top of each other, so we have to move it. Hit R for rotation on your keyboard, then type in +90, +180, +270, bam! Everything is perfectly aligned. Now let's animate. Step 8. Working from what you already have is easier than working with, well, nothing. So we already have our end frame. On your timeline, move in about 2 seconds. Select all of your files. Hit R again on your keyboard and make a keyframe. Move your playhead about 4 seconds or so and drop down another keyframe on rotation again. But move the rotation ever so slightly, so that your product spins just a little more. The magic of movement explained. Now let's get back to almost the beginning of your timeline. Hit R again for all of your images and drop down another bunch of keyframes. Step 9. Go exactly 7 frames before everything begins. Select all of your images, hit B on the keyboard, drop a keyframe. Hit S on the keyboard, drop a keyframe. Perfect. Now it's time for the beginning. Move all your images to the center. Hit S, type in 0, drop a keyframe. Hit B, drop a keyframe. Then, and this is something like the magic sauce of animation, select all your layers and double tap U. Now select all your keyframes and hit F9 to make them super smooth. Or left click Keyframe Assistant, easy ease, it's the same. Step 10. Become one with what you just created. Watch it back like 10 times. Yes, 10 times. My young apprentice, this is a gateway to so much more when you actually practice it. With these techniques you can create a million different variations of rotations and spin shots. You can combine multiple different images, create multiple time variants by just moving a layer a couple of frames in one direction, or just, well, you will get the hang of it when you practice. So practice. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments and I'm sure they will be answered there. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Leech and I'm off writing the next scripts. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. There are plenty more. Well, exactly this type of content. There's only one more. And many other things available for you to watch. Have a nice day. See you around and goodbye.